Do you believe in miracles? We got Fizzle in the house. Fizzle, what's good, man? Fizzle, glad to have you here.
Let's go. This the South Harmon podcast. Glad you here today. Hit that Patreon link if you here to stay. Dynasty best ball, that's my favorite way. 40 chess trade show, let's make a trade today or check a AMA. You know Adam at the ATM. Mike always in the building, he gon' stay with him. They gon' start every show off with their own trade. Fantasy's a big ocean, they made their own wave. Make sure you tapping in Tuesdays and Saturdays. Tuesday night, Saturday morning, ain't no better way. Hit that notification bell when the news break. Go subscribe right now, don't get the news late. Destination Devy, that's the team. Dynasty football, man, that's my favorite thing. I remember Biggie said it was all a dream. Now people watching on their phones and computer screens. Welcome to the team. Let's start the show.
Man, I missed y'all. I missed that intro, rocking with my guy backstage. Shout out to Fizzle for that. It just gets the juices flowing. But I am back on an AMA. We're doing it on Sundays until I get off this damn schedule because I missed y'all so damn much. I missed out every Tuesday. Adam, you've been holding it down with some incredible guests. Big shout out to those guys for coming on. They have been fantastic. But I got to get back in the chair, man. I miss the people. I miss the shitheads. What is up, everybody? Adam, how you doing, buddy? We're back.
Yes.
We're back together.
Yes, sir, man. I was looking forward to this one. I'm kind of like the first. I took a sip of this right here, and it's like the juice is just right back flowing. I've been on a 3-day bender, so we're ready to go, man. We're ready to go.
I got one of those too.
Oh yeah, let's go. Mike's got the glass. Mike's got the glass. South Harmon's, cheers to you. I'm ready, man. I'm excited for this. It was interesting. Somebody put this in the chat. Koopa. How did I forget? Koopa says this is maybe the most exciting time of the year outside of week 1 in the draft. And it's funny that he put that as the very first comment that I can click on because right now it's like the rookie hype is kicking in. There's people are getting back into the startup itch. There's enough time passed where, the end of the year fatigue is gone. It's an exciting time of year, man. So I'm glad we're able to have you back on. And you and I get to talk questions, man. Let's go.
Every time there's some news breaking, man, anything happens. You look across your leagues and we do 30 plus, right? So there's people in there just putting turds on the trade block because there's some news about them, right? Come get your Baker Mayfield. Yep. I'll pass. Pass.
Yeah.
But that's the
crickets.
thing, man. We have nothing else to talk about. It just feels like every move that they make is so monumental. In the grand scheme of things, it probably don't mean shit, but it's good to talk about. It is an exciting time. Free agency, trades. I mean, Brandin Cooks, thumbnail, man. Being dealt, what was it, a 5th round pick to Dallas? Does have big fantasy implications, right? Does have big fantasy implications. A lot of us love Brandin Cooks, man. Always undervalued, great on the contender. But now we got to answer the questions like, what's this do for Brandin Cooks? What's this do for Dak Prescott? What's this do for CeeDee Lamb and Michael Gallup and the Dallas offense as a whole? So hell of a time of the year, and we haven't even got to the draft yet. Koopa hit it. Might be the most exciting time outside of week 1 in the draft. Week 1 is incredible. The NFL draft is incredible. But right now, the lead up, the anticipation, post-combine, free agency, trades, teams jockeying for position, it's pretty damn exciting, buddy.
I'm with you. Before we get to all the questions, and we appreciate everyone tapping in, Mike, you know what this feels like? And I think you do because you're an Eagles guy. This feels like Jerry Jones remorse on Amari Cooper. This is basically a swap. We tried it. We just wanted him off the books. And I remember there was some, discourse. I think apparently Jerry, there was rumors he was unhappy with his vaccination stuff. I think he was disappointed in his numbers, and he's like, I just want to trade him right now. I want this guy off of our team. It seemed like a really hasty trade they made to the Cleveland Browns. Shout out to, behind me, you see the elf. The only good thing I think we've done in a long time was basically steal Amari Cooper. He wanted the money off the books, and I think it backfired, right? Michael Gallup wasn't healthy. Everything they tried to basically patchwork around didn't mean anything. They needed another guy other than CeeDee Lamb really bad. I think this is trying to basically make a swap of Amari Cooper and Brandin Cooks at this point.
So when I looked at this, we've had conversations. We Destination Devy all the time, and Heisman and Ray being such a Cowboys fan, and our guy JB, who's been on here, also a Cowboys fan. Like, we got to deal with these people. Ike, Gene, Cowboys fans. Like, we're outnumbered. So we're talking too much about Dallas all the time. And one of the things that kept coming up was, like, what does Dallas do at the wide receiver position? And I've always thought, like, you kind of heard, like, I want Jackson Smith and Jigba there. And I'm going, like, to me, that's kind of gross. Like, I'd want a guy like Quentin Johnston over anybody if they were going to draft somebody, just because it plays on the outside. CeeDee Lamb is so damn good in the slot.
Yep.
I didn't want that ruined. And the good thing about Brandin Cooks being there is I don't think it affects CeeDee playing in the slot. Like, he's still going to play there.
It doesn't.
He's still going to be that mismatch. Brandin Cooks does play quite a bit on the outside. Hell of a field stretcher. I think the one that the more and more I process it, that it hurts, that's kind of down for, is I was starting to get some high hopes for Michael Gallup. I was thinking he was kind of a value. A full year off the ACL last year was horrible for him, but a full year off, I was thinking, man, if they don't do anything in free agency or the draft and they just keep trotting out this same old tired Dennis Houston or whoever the hell else that they want to be out there, like, big things would be coming for Michael Gallup. And I don't think it kills him. Like, he's not dead. It's just not as good as I'd hope. Dak Prescott definitely wheels up for him. I think the Dallas offense as a whole, I'm going to get a little bit more excited about. Tony Pollard without Zeke there. See how he does with the broken leg, the broken ankle, how he comes back from it. If he makes a nice recovery, then I think this Dallas offense could be actually pretty scary good. And for fantasy, that's just kind of what you want. Like, I'm going to want some pieces of this Dallas team, especially. Whether that's Lamb, Dak, Brandin Cooks. I'll probably still take some shots on best ball, Michael Gallup, or even the lineup leagues. I think he wouldn't be the worst option as like your wide receiver 6. So
glad you brought that up. I agree with a lot of the points you make. I think last thing I want to talk about before questions, what does this really do for Dak? Like, and does it for you move him a little past this feeling like ultra low he's been at in Dynasty? Yeah. I agree.
I would say he's definitely a lot closer to like Deshaun Watson than he's been in the last probably 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, right?
They're only 2 years in difference in age. You know that? Like, it's crazy. Dak has been like cast off, it seems like.
Before the like Tua and Kyler hate, it was Dak Prescott was QB12, and I don't think there was a lot of question about it. And it was just kind of like, this is the last elite guy, and then you get to Kirk Cousins or Trey Lance or whoever the hell, Daniel Jones, doesn't really matter. It's kind of shifted where Tua's now the cast off. Kyler still has his detractors because of the offseason reports, and he doesn't get along with his teammates, and he's not a good leader and all this, and plus he has a torn ACL. I would say this probably does solidify Dak as like QB 10 and pretty close with Deshaun Watson. And I wouldn't be surprised if people start to flip-flop those around just because Watson didn't really do much last year, right? Didn't really – we propped him up, but we just don't – we think it's going to be good, but we just don't really know. So I can see a scenario maybe in a couple weeks that we're starting to flip those guys, or the lines are starting to become mingled, where it was a top 9 and then the other guys, and now it might be a true top 10 and then the other guys.
Yeah. I think basically after Fields, I think you can start having a discussion of, picking your flavor and him possibly being in that mix, basically like the 10th quarterback, the 9th quarterback. I think, it's like the NFL success that he's not having is being like baked into his dynasty stuff, like the Dallas fatigue of him, not winning. Like, I don't care. I don't really care if the quarterback wins in regular football. Like, do they score fantasy points for my team, And That's a distinction I think that should be made for every player, quarterback, as a whole. Anyway, we got a super chat. Joey Cheese Sticks is in the building. Appreciate you, Joey.
What up, Joey?
Cheers, fellas. Good to have Mike back. Absolutely. Cheers to Joey and to Mike. 12 teams, start 10, lineup, Higgins, tear down. How low do you go at the position while getting a 24, 25 first? Especially because this is, lineup and our boy Higgins. I think this is a good discussion.
I would definitely go lower. So in a best ball league, let me just say that in a best ball league, I'm willing to go a lot lower, even though I love T. I still rank him high, and I fight a lot of people on it. Adam, in the lineup league, let me say this, because we have the rookies too. The rookies are tough. So, like, if they were included in the pick, like you're talking like a 109, 110 maybe, and a generic 24, 25 first, I would do that. Because I think I can get like a JSN, a Quentin Johnston, a Jordan Addison, like something like that. So I'll include them in there. But outside of that, if I don't include rookie picks, and we're just talking straight receivers right now who are in the league, I got 26 of them that I would do it for. Does that sound about right to you?
Yep. I think I would say, and those ones are going to be smashes, right? And then outside of that, like I'd rather
on the
probably
low
just
end of
hold
the
T.
scale. On the low end of the scale, you're looking at Amari, Deontay, Treylon, Christian Kirk, Terry McLaurin, Deebo Samuel.
So here's the thing.
The low end.
I think in lineup especially, that tier gets a little closer for me on which ones I would take. Like for example, Amari Cooper, I think that is a perfect smash. And the reason I say that is I think Amari Cooper is in a situation, points-wise, to be damn near what T. Higgins is anywhere. The difference is you're like, oh, I don't want to get rid of the age thing, right? In the Dynasty, but if he can give me the points that T can, and I get the liquidity of getting younger, that's exactly what you want to do, right? Like that's how you make the bridge in the age gap. Treylon, for example, right? Like value-wise, yes, Treylon Burks and the 24 first over T. Higgins. The problem then becomes, like, if Treylon is giving you nothing in points, can you sustain that? I think value-wise, you just have to understand that Treylon is not going to give you replaceable points of T. Higgins, so you got to kind of fill your team around that differently. I'm not saying I wouldn't do the trade, but you can't necessarily just plug and play Treylon the same as you could Amari.
All right, I'll give you some of the guys outside of that range that I have listed, right? Just pull up my ranks real quick just to kind of look at it.
Yeah.
George Pickens in the first.
Yes.
Okay. Godwin in the first.
Tough. I'd say yes still, but that's getting to I don't know that I feel great about it, honestly. Like I might explore other trades before I just press the button on that one first,
Dotson in the first.
I'll be honest, man. Best ball, yes. Lineup, no.
Okay. Christian Watson in the first.
I'll tell you what. Christian Watson's value and how people value him, I might need to know my league here. He's like a 5th-round startup pick right now.
Right.
If someone values him there, yes, I'll take that. But I just worry that I'll get stuck with Watson there.
J-Mo in the first.
Value-wise, I got to do it, even though I'm worried about J-Mo.
All right. How about any of these guys in this tier? I'll just rapid fire them off and we can be out of here.
Okay.
Just give me a simple yes or no.
Gotcha.
Hollywood, Cortland, Sutton.
No.
Bateman, Mooney,
No.
Juju,
No.
Mike Evans, Calvin Ridley.
I might consider Ridley. He'd be the one there that I might consider, but the answer is pretty much no to all of them.
All right. I kind of have it. It does open you up to a lot of options, though, Joey. I mean, T. Higgins is probably in that second, maybe third tier for some people in wide receivers. So, I mean, it opens you up to seeing what you could get, like maybe an Olave, Garrett Wilson, Jalen Waddle, Adams, Cooper Kupp, Devontae Smith, Drake London, and then dropping down another tier. And even in that tier, like DJ Moore, Pittman, Ayuk, Judy, Samuel, McLaurin, Christian Kirk, Burks, Deontay, Amari Cooper, for me, I'm good with. So you have a lot of options. I'd say you probably got about 24, 25 that makes sense for you to tier down. Kind of those high-end wide receiver twos, high-end wide receiver threes, low-end wide receiver twos. I'm still good if I can get that 24, 25 first.
I agree. You put Christian Kirk in that mix, correct?
Yes, 100%. I'm much higher on Christian Kirk than a lot of people.
I just wanted to make sure that I distinguish that because I think for a lot of people, when you say that number, Christian Kirk doesn't fit the build. So that's why I wanted to highlight that. Like, he would be one.
Yeah, I throw him in there. Just a little freemium right there. He comes in at wide receiver 23 for me. I got to update these after some of these moves, but he's still going to rank pretty high for me. I'm a big Christian Kirk fan.
Agreed. Okay. All right. Appreciate the super chat, Joey. I'm going to try to make sure we get to as many questions as we can. We do still have to do the Dynasty Trade Show. Mike and I are, trying to basically give you all the content we can in small bursts because our schedules are so different right now. We'll answer as many as we can. Keep coming. But if you want to make sure you guarantee your question answered, feel free to super chat it, and we'll guarantee a question answer. So we got Dr. B. Harris. I'm on the clock in a startup. Letting y'all make my next pick. Okay, 1401. Lineup start 10. Full PPR, 0.5 tight end premium. Team is built as a contender. Pick between the following players: Kmet, Mooney, Madison, Izzy A, Musgrave. I'm going to tell you right now, Mike, in this format, lineup start 10, much as I love Mooney, a lot of that love is really in best ball, and he's immediately the first scratch for me. I think I would rather have a tight end that could actually become something, or take the running back that, if they become really valuable, is a guaranteed start for spot weeks.
Man.
I think I'm taking Izzy A.
Izzy A stands out to me. I'm not doing Musgrave. I'm not doing Madison.
Agreed. I think it's between him and Kmet, and I think I'm taking Izzy.
I would take
Abanikanda
Izzy.
For those that don't know.
I don't hate Mooney as bad. Like, I think Mooney can be a fantastic number 2 wide receiver. I think I got too over my skis last year when, he's all they got. He was basically the number 1 with Allen Robinson there. Well, at least Allen Robinson drew some coverage. Like, it was tougher going for Darnell Mooney, but it was tough for everybody in that passing game. It was Darnell Mooney and nobody else until he got hurt. So I don't hate him. And as a contender, though, I think I'm going to go with Izzy. I think I'm going to go with Izzy, and I'm going to shoot my shot on him. I don't want Musgrave. Not that he's bad or anything, but, I mean, we kind of get over our skis on these rookie tight ends, right? We think every one of them is going to be good. We overvalue guys who really don't do shit. Like, Chig is extremely valued. Dolchich is extremely valued. Bellinger was extremely valued, and they really didn't do shit last year. I mean, they did stuff that is a good indicator of future success, but as far as, like, helping you win a championship, they really didn't do that. So Musgrave could be fantastic, but I'm going to take the running back, and if I'm going to take the running back, it's going to be Izzy over Madison.
Let me say this. I see in the chat there's some people talking Madison, and I think the reason that is there's a lot of narrative around Dalvin going away. And based on that, Mike, like let me just have us talk through Madison.
That wouldn't be the worst thing, man. That wouldn't be the worst thing. I mean, now that it kind of comes into it, the problem is, like, are they going to give – we assume, like, Madison just steps in and does the workload that we saw when Dalvin was hurt in the past. Madison really didn't do a whole lot last year. And they got Ty Chandler, and they got Nwangwu, and I don't know what the hell they do in the draft if they add another dude. I mean, we've already seen them add multiple running backs year after year.
See, that's the thing. That's the thing about Madison that I think is not talked about enough. I'm glad you – see, this is why we got to have Mike and I do the trade show together. We think a lot alike. Madison, I think what happens is he steps into the Dalvin Cook role a lot of times when Cook is hurt because it's in spot weeks. He's never done that for a season. Right? He's never said, okay, Cook tore his ACL, but it's going to be the Madison show. Like, I think part of this is signaling that we think we maybe can go a little more running back by committee. We don't have to go Dalvin Cook show anymore. Like, we got Justin Jefferson, right? What if Madison just steps into a 1A role that's okay at best, right? Like, and that's also kind of speculate. That's a lot of speculation just to even get to maybe to that point. What if Cook isn't gone? What if Madison's not on the team again? Like, it's a lot of things could happen.
So either I'm tripping, or we got some updates to make on our ranks. We might be missing a Cole Kmet at the tight end position because I can't even find where the hell I ranked him. I don't think he's on
JB might not have added him to the pool, man. Yeah,
right. He hates him so bad he didn't even put him in. No. Shout
out to JB because our new rankings, patreon.com/South Harmon, is ridiculous. But a lot went into it. He had to add all the players, make it a drop down tool for Mike and I to sort them. Yeah, he may have left Cole Kmet out there, but we'll get him added in.
Man, I'd probably, even with the Bob Tunyon thing, like I don't think Bob Tunyon's that great anymore. And he is. I mean,
No.
he may be dead after the ACL, right? And he
Yep.
didn't look the greatest last year coming off the ACL. I don't know. Like Komet's probably is it safe to say like would be a top 24 tight end for you pretty safely?
Komet?
Yeah.
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 Yes, easily top 24. Top
I can
20.
see going Komet. It's either going to be Komet or Izzy A for me. Madison has an argument. I'm probably not doing the Mooney, and I'm definitely not doing Musgrave. This is a tough one.
For me,
Let's go Izzy A. If we're making the pick,
it's still
consensus.
Izzy. It's still Izzy Abanikanda, and the reason I'm taking Israel Abanikanda is this: Cole Kmet. Okay, so you're talking about the Mooney stuff, right? Like you don't hate him. See, we'll see what happens. They traded basically they traded a first round pick for Claypool when the Miami pick was forfeited.
Yeah.
So now you have Claypool that I think they'll try to make more of a factor in the offseason. Mooney will be back healthy, and now DJ Moore. I like Kmet still, but I'm not sure in a start 10 lineup league, only a half-point tight end premium. Like I'm not saying I won't take him. I just with these guys, I'm not taking him ahead. He'd be one down the line. Like maybe next round if he's still there, I would take him. So I think it's
Izzy, man.
It's Izzy. And I think Israel Abanikanda, if it breaks right, has the chance to be completely out of the range of these five guys. Well, I don't see that for anyone else. That's the reason I really want to take him in lineup. Start 10.
Right.
The upside's way better.
Trying to backfill at the running back position the best way you can, and it's hitting on these kind of guys in these rounds.
Yep. Okay. All right. Chad Young, appreciate the question. 12-team Superflex full PPR. 101 plus Jacobs for Diggs, Chubb, 24 mid-second. Both teams are competitive.
101 and Jacobs for Diggs, Chubb.
Well, here's the thing I'm looking at this, Mike. I think Chubbs and Jacobs can kind of be canceled out. I would lean Chubb, but like they're kind of canceling it out.
I get the Jacobs thing.
So now 101 or Diggs in a 24 second, that's not that close.
Yeah, I definitely want the 101 for me.
Yeah,
Diggs is awesome.
This is
I'll take the
101.
101 here.
And this is one of those where because it's a 24 second, like I don't even care if it's best ball or lineup. This is just period. I want 101 and Jacobs.
I'll take 101 on Jacobs. I hate to send off Chubb too because I've been pounding the table for how good I think he's going to be in 23. If Watson takes a step forward.
Brown's guy right here. I hate sending off Nick Chubb, but
I'll take 101 on Jacobs.
We remove the Brownies love.
Give me Bijan. Yeah. Because Bijan, let's be honest, the 101 is the most valuable piece of the deal.
And
down the race style.
The other thing, too, is Bijan, if you just took him, the other thing is this is 12-team Superflex. And if this is a post-NFL draft, the top quarterback that maybe has this crazy hype, Anthony Richardson, whoever it is, that piece trades for far more than anything else in there, too. So either the quarterback or Bijan, I want that. So he said, thank God y'all are doing the AMA tonight because he's got a tough trade he's trying to decide on. He's talking about that one. Glad to do it, man. Glad we're doing Sunday for the first time. Best Sunday night AMA on the YouTubes. Appreciate it, Steven.
I don't know what that's
it may be the only Sunday night AMA on the YouTube, so I don't know if this is a shot or a compliment, but either way, I'm just going to pretend.
Either way, I'll take it. I'm
going to pretend that it's a compliment. So, all right. Waddling tuna. Interesting.
Nice.
12 team, and I think this is 12 start 11. Superflex, half point PPR lineup. He's going to give Waddle, so you're going to send away the waddling tuna. Plus 111, plus 204, plus Rondale Moore. Get Hill Henry in a 24 first late.
All right,
spicy.
For me,
so yeah, go ahead.
For me, Hill over Waddle.
Yep.
I don't know if that's hot takey, but I'm taking Hill over Waddle.
The problem is the dynasty age is what only thing that separates them. But points wise, it's Hill over Waddle.
24 first, even though that you put late in there, I will take any random 24 first over the 111.
Why? Really quick highlight in lineup
because
especially that team can become mid or early in a hurry
easily. So Henry or the 204 and Rondale Moore. I think that's probably close. I'm a Rondale fan, but I'm going to side with Henry here. I'll take King Henry until I get told otherwise that he's not good at football and can't run.
Rondale Moore 204 in best ball, more intriguing.
Half PPR too.
Half PPR and in best ball, more intriguing. But like lineup, half PPR. Nah, Rondale is very like he's actually a piece that I want to utilize that way. He's a pawn. Like let me add him to a deal so that someone thinks it's more valuable when I just want to get rid of him.
I like this deal, man. If you're
I would take it.
In 24 first side, I do like the way it's constructed because it's like sneaky gambling against the other dude.
Think about it from our lenses, you and I. Waddle, we feel like is someone we want to trade at value currently. 111's a piece we don't really love.
I think he might be a little bit overvalued. Right?
Exactly. 111's a piece I think we're ready to move. Rondale Moore's a piece we want to get rid of. 204 I like because it's a little more devalued. But if I can get rid of all those assets, get a liquid 24 first, get Tyreek Hill and Derrick Henry, that's the type of move that you make. And you use all these pieces that are probably a little like you're making it look better, I think, than it really is on paper.
I like it. I'll take the old guys in the pick.
Okay, so so to write it correctly, it's 101 plus Jacobs for Diggs. Oh, 24 first. We looked at second. That becomes a lot different. And I'm not. It was clear a winner before. This is tougher now. Okay, so redo it. Chubb and Jacobs cancel for you, or are you leaning Chubb?
Yeah, that's fine. Chubb and Jacobs cancel, and I'm not gonna be crazy. Like I definitely am a big Josh Jacobs fan as well. I think he proved that last year. So
and he's on the franchise tag where that basically incentivizes them to use him heavily again.
This changes it for me, man. You throw that first into it.
I'm with you.
I want the Diggs first in the Chubb side.
The reason it's tough, I love Bijan. I think he put it. Yeah, he said full PPR. He didn't say. He didn't say. I'm assuming this is lineup, Chad. Like in lineup, Diggs is one of these pieces I really want if I'm going to contend, and I think plus I'm getting the 24 first, which in lineup now is like a very, very sexy liquidity piece that I can push around in the season if I want to, or I can just let the hype and value build if the team's not good or the class becomes more valuable as it goes. That's the type of move I think I want to make.
Right. So the Chubb and Jacobs thing cancel out. Now he even put it as mid 24 first, like mid. So kind of has an idea that this could be.
That could be quarterback range.
Could be Marvin Harrison Jr. range.
Right.
A lot of those, man, we got to think about it though. A lot of those elite assets in 24 could equal the value of whatever Bijan is, just because he's a running back and these will be quarterbacks or wide receivers. So
I want the pick. I want the Diggs first and Chubb.
That first changes everything, man. If it's just a second, give me the 101 and Jacobs.
The second made it like it doesn't matter. Mid first. Yeah, it's a massive difference. I'm looking at that as like 106. That is huge in that class.
Holy shit. Big change. Hey, but at least you wrote it correctly, so we didn't give him bad advice.
There we go. Well, we gave you, both ways to look at it. Welcome to the team. Fizzle is the best. Appreciate it, Johnson. Yeah, or Justin Johnson, sorry. He is the best. All right, 1 out of 2. If you got a stacked team and have Lance in a 12-team Superflex, half PPR, start 9, but you don't believe in this guy, what's the lowest you would sell him for pick-wise? Got Herbert and Hurts at the moment. All right, so there's 3-part question. Go ahead.
107.
Straight. Interesting.
Why? Who just won at the 107 in our draft?
The guy that I took. William Levis.
Will the thrill. I will pivot. If I didn't believe in Lance, I will pivot straight to Will Levis or equivalent range. So,
yeah, I think, I'm trying to think. That's about right. It's about right. I think, he has Herbert and Hurts at the moment too. Right. Pick wise in this class, I'd say 107. I think what I would probably try to consider doing though, Garrett, is like if you want to just liquidate Lance and risk not getting a quarterback back, like I think you could maybe get Lance to a team that needs quarterback, right? And just kind of pick away some of their actual pieces that are good that are skill players. They might be able to try that too.
Here's a real crusty one that I think could get done just because people hate him too. Is Trey Lance for Mac Jones in a second.
There you go.
Got to ask for a first.
There you
Trey
go.
Lance for Mac in a second. People hate him too.
Yep. So 2-2. The playoffs are 5 leagues combining for the last 2 weeks. So it's a juggernaut versus a juggernaut. Any liquidity can be helpful. Okay.
All right. So if we're just talking generic 24, I got first and a third. Did I get it done for you? I think a first and a second, if I didn't believe in Trey Lance, would be easy. Just
here's the thing: if you don't believe, like if you truly don't, I'd probably just do a 24 first.
Oh, it'll make me choke out here. All right.
You heard me put it on mute because I do believe a little more than that. I was choking, but like if you don't believe, I mean, you liquidate for a first, and then especially given this stuff, like now you can move the liquidity for more than Lance if you don't believe and that he doesn't work out. I think you're right though, Mike. Like I need more than you're not. I don't think you're going to get a 24 first and a second though. So yeah, a 24 first and a third or a equivalent player probably.
I get a 24 first and like a toss-in. Right. Like, it doesn't have to be a pick, but
something. For further info, my team is Hurts, Herbert, Lance, CEH. CEH, you can actually just stop typing him in, Garrett, next time. Yeah, like he doesn't count. Antonio, as much as I want, we can almost do the same for him. Akers, AJ Brown, Jefferson, Chase. Wow. Receiver room stacked. DK, Hollywood Brown, and Mark Andrews. Also 1.5 Gibbs, hopefully. Oh, he's got 105 Gibbs, hopefully, in a few seconds. It's tough. It's tough though. It's tough though.
Man, at the 1.5, I'd pass on Gibbs. I'd take the quarterback, and then
that's what I'm saying.
Try to trade Lance for like the 108, 107, Boom. 108, 109, the 110 and like a late second, the 111 and a second, something like that. And then I'll take the running back there. I'll take the quarterback at 5. Replace Lance with Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud or
Bryce Young just went at the 105 in our draft right now. See that this is why I think I would, if you really hate him, like trade into a 24 first, trade into a valuable asset that's liquidity given all this stuff, because you already have 105 where you can get your QB3, right? Or move the pick for QB3. So generic 24 first and a small plus is a fine pivot given what all this context is, I'd say.
24 first and some second this year.
There you go. Yep. 212 if it had to be. That's fine. I'll take it. All right.
Another dart at the running back board.
First time, long time. Gibbs or Quentin Johnson? Michael?
Gibbs.
Yeah. Yep.
With what I know now. Now, can this change on draft day? 100%. Gibbs doesn't go to the third round. Quentin Johnson.
Ooh, that would change a lot. 10. Yeah. If Gibbs falls to round 3, yeah.
Well, Quentin Johnson goes like top 10, top 15. Like, what if the Chargers trade up for QJ, right?
Yeah.
They do follow scenarios. Releasing Keenan Allen, and that's their dude. That's the dude that they trade up for. There's going to be a time where I might flip-flop those. So, but right now,
there are scenarios where, like you just highlighted there, good landing spot and they trade up, like high investment. Yeah, that's good for Quentin Johnson. For me, it's just Gibbs has to just check one last box, the draft capital, and it's just I'm in on Gibbs.
Let's say our feet are to the fire because we just started today, but we're going to be starting doing a lot of pre-NFL rookie drafts across leagues. Like these are real money leagues.
Yep.
Real draft picks, real teams that we're trying to compete for championships here. I can guarantee you that in 0 out of those, I will ever take Quentin Johnson before Jahmyr Gibbs before the NFL draft.
Not happening.
Unless like something bad were to happen to Gibbs, like injury-wise or something. Yeah, like get hurt or something or arrested or whatever it may be. Knock on wood, that doesn't happen. Not calling for it, but it would take a situation like that for me to flip him right now. I'm taking Gibbs before QJ every draft.
I'm with you. Okay. I need help on this one. 12-team Superflex. Lineup start 8. Wow. Shallow. So in the reason I want to highlight shallow real quick before I read it is, like, there's only 6 skill players to catch up to QBs here. That's crazy. Mm-hmm. I give Kyler. I already don't like that part. Ayuk, Pittman, B-Rob. I get Goff, Higgins, JT. No. I'm not doing it.
No.
I highlighted it before I even knew what the question was, and that's the answer is that. Kyler is one of those quarterbacks in this format. Like, even when he's at the value, I'm not getting rid of him for this.
Right. And he's even like giving away B-Rob, which I give away for free.
B-Rob, you could just get rid of B-Rob. It's Kyler, Ayuk, and Pittman versus Goff, Higgins, JT. No, it's not. No.
Nah, I'll take your Kyler Ayuk Pittman side all day.
Yep.
No question about it.
Yep. Easy. There, 6 skill players to catch up to the quarterbacks don't come off of Kyler for Goff. Like, that's the big thing. If you get rid of Goff and Kyler and it's just Higgins and JT and, Ayuk, Pittman, B-Rob, or even a higher running back there, and you want to, like, if you want to make sure you stud the running back position with JT, that's fine. I get that part. But I'm not doing it at the expense of an elite quarterback. Does that make sense?
I trade away the B-Rob part, though, if that was included on their end.
Yes.
Like, they show any interest in him in the start 8, you can have him, man. I'll take I don't know if you can trade like B-Rob and Ayuk, package those together to go to a Higgins or something like that.
That's
like
what I'm saying. I think if you can,
that interesting. But
this is, I guess, the point. If there's genuine interest in the skill player swaps, like, remove the quarterbacks and see what it takes. Because if this is all about Kyler for that manager, it makes sense, and don't do it. But if there's a way to add more to your side that's actual skill players, because the thing is, there's only 6 skill players that are playing, so you do want to juice those up, right? Like, JT is very valuable too, but you don't want to do it at the expense of a quarterback.
Or maybe it's something that you do like Ayuk, Pittman, and B-Rob for Higgins and JT. And
that's what I'm saying.
The running back. Yeah, like
exactly.
Like up tier, I like those wide receivers, but in a start 8, like, I still want to go higher. I want to go higher. And it's really just about getting JT. That's Higgins is dope, but what's the production difference between like a Pittman and a Higgins? Probably the same, pretty close. So
agree. We got BW. Assuming Dalvin is traded, do you think Madison ends up the week 1 starter in Minnesota? Yeah, we kind of highlighted that earlier. I do think he ends up the week 1 starter, assuming he's there. But we also talked about, at least what I was saying was, when Madison has spelled Cook, everyone wants to start him and plug him in. But we've seen Madison be used as a spell, like, bell cow. Like, my big hesitation with him is that do the Vikings, are they really going to try to use him in that role for a full season? And that's where I think he may be overvalued. He may be overvalued already, and he's been a great handcuff at best, right? Like, come on.
It feels like he's been overvalued forever.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how's he going higher already? Speaking of going higher,
now we're gonna push him up even higher than when he already was overvalued. I get it.
Yeah, that's my hesitation.
I think he's fine, man. It'd be interesting to see. And this is one. Let me say this, Adam. I think it's like, I'm okay being wrong about it. Like, I get it. If you want to go out and shoot your shot on Alexander Madison, at the end of the year, you could be like, I told you, and I'm okay being wrong about it. Like, I'm okay if I miss out on that. That's just not really.
Cody Lewis, ever since Mike hasn't been available for the Savage semesters too. I know he misses those. After the whole last class, Mike, Cody, I think's been wanting to jab at this one. He really doesn't like him some A-Rich. So the answer why, go check out 40 Chess, which was not going to drop till Friday. Give you a little preview though, since it's so far away. When we go auction, right? When you do an auction startup versus a snake startup, one of the reasons I take Richardson at 101 over Bijan Robinson today, my team's, first of all, not ready. It's not in a contend mode yet. It's actually not even close to that. I earned the 101 very easily. But when we go to auction, see, in a snake startup, you just have the spot you have, and then you got to make trades and all that. In auctions, everybody has a chance to bid how they feel about everybody, every position, every player. 2 auctions in a row, we have seen that Bijan Robinson is the 4th player in funding in the 23 class. Right. Like, and the fact, Mike, that it's the quarterbacks are not, it's not even all that close. It's like at least 1, 2, 3% higher, 115 versus 140 type stuff. Like, it speaks to the scarcity of the quarterback position. And the big thing for me that I was talking about in Savage semester, Mike, I'm not saying you can't take Bijan at 101 if you don't have a team constructed to make Bijan the 101. Like, I'm not saying you can't do it. But one final point on top of all of this is, right now you got Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow. The best running back is not jumping those guys. It's just not happening. Not happening at all. What is the one type of player that can jump those guys? And an elite quarterback is the answer.
Yes.
It's not even a receiver. It's an elite quarterback.
So Adam and I are definitely on two different sides of the fences here. We are both in agreement, though, through auctions. I mean, we probably talked about it for a while. Like I brought it up way back when about what happens when the 101 isn't Bijan Robinson. And we were in a disagreement then. You were like, that's never going to happen. And here we are. Here we are.
We live in today's world now, though.
What I mean, though, is I'm in full agreement with you. And I've been on this, like, this is a possibility. This is probably going to be a reality for some people. I've been saying it for a while that you're going to be in drafts, man. And once it actually happens, there's going to be a lot of them in these Superflex leagues, 12-team, 14-team. It's not going to happen. It shouldn't happen in 10-team leagues. Where there's going to be people who take quarterback. And that's why I've always wanted to get picks 102 or 103, Adam, right? Just because it's like, please do. I've also been very stout here lately about the fact that I will not be taking a quarterback at 101 if I have it. I'm trying to trade the pick. If nobody wants to trade it, I'm taking Bijan because I have 6 months to figure out when he goes out and runs a 50-yard touchdown run in the preseason for whatever team drafts him in the first round. People are going to lose their minds, and they're going to be like, this is the next coming of Adrian Peterson. This is the next coming of insert awesome-ass running back that we love. But, Adam, I don't knock anybody who does take a quarterback. Like, when you pulled the trigger on A-Rich, I'm like, that's a man of his conviction right there. I understand it. Your team doesn't need Bijan right now, but I'm of the mindset that I have 6 months to figure out whether or not I can get Bijan off my roster, and I feel pretty good about my chances. So,
yeah.
I don't think you should knock anybody who takes A-Rich or Stroud or Bryce Young or whoever the hell it may be over Bijan in today's Superflex market, because all the indicators say running back's a dead, dying position that nobody likes, nobody wants anymore. Quarterback scarcity is at an all-time high as far as finding those elite ones, those difference makers, those high warp guys. So that's why.
And let me give you another deep context point. All right? Now think about this, Mike, okay? The one we're doing right now, real quick, just to give you an idea, okay? Bijan Robinson's like in startups going as a 111, 112, right? First round startup pick. I'm gonna name every single player that goes ahead of Bijan in dollars real quick to give you how far it is from 111, 112 for Cody, for T-Rock, for the Adams crazy real quick. And I'll tell you how crazy I am, all right? Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Justin Herbert, Trevor Lawrence, Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Watson, Justin Fields, Dak Prescott, C.J. Stroud, Kyler Murray, Bryce Young, Anthony Richardson, Tua Tagovailoa, Justin Jefferson, Daniel Jones, Jamar Chase, Travis Kelce, Russell Wilson, Mark Andrews.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Now here's the thing.
So it is.
Okay. So that's how people value. See, that's how people are telling you how they value Bijan Robinson when they have every dollar at their discretion.
Right. Now, full auction budgets. And it's not like Bijan's getting snuck in later. You know what I mean? Like when some money's already off the board. I'm the dickhead who nominates him day one. Like within the first 5 minutes, he's up on the board.
Now think about it this way, okay? At 101, you're probably, closer to that first round range if you take him there. So what does Bijan Robinson have to be for you at a position that no one values to make that worth it? And the answer I put on a Savage semester I posed is he has to basically be Saquon like in his rookie year, right? 2K yards from scrimmage, 700 receiving, 1,300 rushing, he's got to be warp advantage plus all the youth.
Right.
Here's the thing, like I said, even then, he's probably going like 107, 108 in startups. You're drafting him he has to be that. Like that's the crazy part.
He does have the opportunity. I don't know if he has to be like Saquon out the gate. You know what I mean? Like,
but to go up in value?
I don't know if he has to be that. Like he could. This sounds shitty.
He could be Breece Hall to retain. Like Breece Hall kind of retained, right? But to go up in value, he has to be Saquon-like.
I think you could take like the Breece Hall pace, or you could take Jonathan Taylor's rookie year, and he will go up in value.
I don't think but I don't think he goes actually higher than 112 though. My point is,
I think he would.
Really? You're gonna have Caleb coming in next year.
I think he would.
You're gonna have Drake May. I think there's a chance he might not even go 112 even then. For him to go up guaranteed, he's got to be like warp RB1, and he's young.
We should bookmark this one then. 3/19/2023.
Do it.
And we'll look back next year and see where.
All right, let's do it. So we got.
I think he can. I think he can go up. He can go up
just by having a like RB10 season.
1,300 rushing yards, maybe 1,600 scrimmage yards, double-digit touchdowns. Yeah, I think he can go up still.
Okay, there you go. Everyone here, you heard it. You heard it here first. Disagreement. So, all right, let's get back to it. We don't have them
very often.
Anyway, Adam took both busts in our drafts. We will be here to help your time in, my dude. We love you. T-Rock, it's crazy because are you talking about Jordan Addison?
Oh, snap.
Is that who he's talking about? The 101 plus mid to late 24 first, or Lamar plus mid second. This goes to the Lamar elite quarterback discussion again. And see, this is why 101 is another. This is almost like these type of trades are proof of why people don't actually really want Bijan at 101 and why they want to get an elite quarterback, right? They're sending another first and taking a second to try to get Lamar. What do you say here, especially with the start 14?
The start 14 makes it interesting. I still want the quarterback though. I'd take Lamar in the second.
Agreed.
I'd take Lamar.
So there's another quarterback you can't pass in the first round.
They're so damn hard to get.
Yep.
Like I sent you an offer for your 101 and 107. Like I sent you Jalen Hurts in a league.
Just the one you sent today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I'm sitting there and I'm thinking about what the offer I would have sent last year if I was sending you like QB2, QB3, and like what I would have taken back. And I'm sitting there and going like, not enough, man. I got to ask for more. Yep. And even you get the offer, and instead of being like, you crazy, ain't no way I do that, you're like, damn.
No,
I don't get offers. I don't get offers to get elite quarterbacks.
I even told you, like,
right.
I would probably, if I had a team that was more ready to go and deep, like I have a lot of best ball teams that are like that, I'd probably take Jalen Hurts. But this team can't really afford it right now, so I can't take it. So I'm with you. Like you want to get Lamar in a league like this, so I think I'd take Lamar here. Especially because it could be mid to late. Obviously, that mid to late becomes the lottery ticket that could break the deal.
The point per carry, like you just sneak that in there for the quarterbacks.
Yep.
Hello.
Cody says the Swift fall is nuts. Yeah.
It is nuts.
Who would you be willing to trade away first, the Joker, Tony, or AJ Dillon? I have two other shares.
I'd trade away the Joker, young Joker first before I trade away AJ Dillon.
I agree. I think
just because run backs and you and I are notorious AJ Dillon like trash
haters.
Talkers. And he didn't do anything. We thought he was overvalued. Blah blah. Adam, it's just a running back market, man. I want those guys, and AJ Dillon falls in the range of guys I'm interested in having in roster and seeing if he does something. Tony, I think that ship is sailed, man. We had high hopes for him last year. We did the video on him, and he didn't do shit. Did
you see the I know this could totally be noise, but did you see the report that KC wants to build Tony into the wide receiver one this offseason?
Yeah, I don't.
You just don't believe it yet.
Report.
I know.
Report, and then in like a month they go
conjecture season, right?
They go trade for DeAndre Hopkins. They send a fucking fifth to Arizona for D-Hop, and it's like, yeah, that was fun.
the reason I want to highlight that is because I also don't believe that that's like more than conjecture, but it's where in best ball it may be a little more intriguing on Tony than it is in lineup, right? No, I'm not saying I want him over Dillon. I'm saying to me Tony is intriguing in best ball, and in lineup I'd rather.
Listen, man, all those videos that we did on this channel of guys who did absolutely nothing last year.
Terrible.
Like, I'm good, man. I'm not going back I'm not going to get hurt again. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, once, twice a lady.
Like the one like we did, but we did two. We did Elijah Moore together, and I did the Kadarius Toney one, right? At that time, Kadarius Toney was still in New York. Now, the one thing is in best ball, we went over this. Speaking of this question, you guys doing another auction startup podcast? It's releasing Friday. We actually just recorded it right before we did this. Thought it was a good one. Make sure you check it out. Costi, I would say this though. Like, one of the reasons why in best ball I'm actually still intrigued on Toney is Patrick Mahomes, right? He's catching the ball from Patrick Mahomes, and when we do spikes in consistency weeks, like that arrows him up where if he was in New York or if it's, bad quarterback play, low scoring offense makes me arrow it down. And that's the one reason why he's a little more intriguing in best ball than lineup to me.
We did see Mecole Hardman be usable in best ball.
That's what I'm saying.
We've talked about Mecole Hardman being usable in best ball for years, and he never really has been.
Until last
year. Before he got hurt, he had a stretch where it was like, shit, man, I'm going to want to get some Mecole Hardman sneaky on this team because I might get 3-4 weeks out of him. So could he do that? Yes. Lineup leagues, no, I don't give a shit. In best ball, he has some appeal, but I'm not paying hype prices or 70% of last year what we were going to pay. I'm good. There's a billion options at wide receiver. Adam, I'd much rather have like a Rondale Moore. Like, I've seen him be good for stretches. And could it be the same thing? Yeah, but they probably cost about the same. Shooting Rondale.
Agree. Thank you for answering it. That's what we're here for. The whole show is for us to answer your questions. So thank you for asking the question.
Ask me anything.
Ask me anything. 10-team, 2-quarterback, Superflex. Give Lawrence, Kirk, and Waddle, and 108. Wow. For Josh Allen, Elijah Moore, A.J. Brown. This one's pretty interesting So, real quickly, on the 10-team thing, 2-quarterback, like Josh Allen over Lawrence, right? But in 10-team, you want the elite ones, but the scarcity comes down. So,
right.
Like, I want Allen over that still, but I guess now the question, Mike, is A.J. Brown being the best receiver in the deal, is that worth in a 10-team this? Because here's the point I'll say. In 10-team, right, you want all your starters to be higher. Like, I want A.J. Brown clearly over Waddle. I think the problem for me is now I'm looking at Kirk and 108 for Elijah Moore, and I don't know if I can do that.
4 good pieces for 2. And I mean, I don't say just good, like serviceable. Like, I think
because you and I disagree slightly on Elijah Moore, but you agree basically what you just said. 10-team leagues, Elijah Moore is not the threshold that we care about.
The 2 best pieces in the deal are Josh Allen and
A.J. Brown.
Lawrence.
Oh, no, I'm
Trevor
sorry.
Lawrence.
Yeah, agreed.
Be nice, but then A.J. Brown right after that. It's pretty close. In a 10-team league, you could probably make a case for A.J. over T-Law, but
no.
I think I want the 4 pieces, man. I want the 4 pieces. I don't want the Allen, Elijah Moore, A.J. Brown side. I'm good.
I agree because I think 108 is where it's.
Plus,
the 108 is the tugging point. Yeah, 108 is the tugging point.
The stack.
All right, so 12-team Superflex full PPR. I'm gonna see if we can rapid fire through a bunch of these, Mike, because we'll stay for at least a little bit longer than an hour, but we do have a trade show to get to, so
yes,
it won't stay forever. 12-team Superflex full PPR. Would you trade the 103 for A.J. Brown? No. Nah.
He's got 2 good quarterbacks.
I don't need to answer the. I don't need to really read the rest of the question unless you told me you had like 4 really good quarterbacks.
No.
I'm not.
I'm going to QB hoard it. I'm taking QB at 3 as well, and then leveraging it, and I'll get 3 good wide receivers in return. Maybe not. They're not going to be A.J. Brown level, but they'll be good. And he's lacking depth, right? DK, DJ Moore, JMO.
Yep.
He's got the 8 and the 10, so he's going to pick up another wide receiver or 2 there as well. So, yeah. Hell no. No, I'm good, man. Keep the pick. Take the quarterback.
I fully agree. Okay. We got a bunch of these. Good evening, guys. New listener here. I have a league mate is trying to get Diggs. I'm currently contending. Would you hold him or would you move him or hold him? 12-team start 10 PPR. Thanks, fellas. So, Chris, to answer this, because it's more generic, it's not really a specific thing, the answer is yes. I'll move anybody. But if you're contending and you have Diggs, the cost of acquisition for this person needs to make it one of two things. One, more valuable to your roster and points, which is going to be hard to do, almost impossible to do. So two is the more likely scenario, which is the value you extract. Now you play 4D chess. If this value now is more where you can replace Diggs and it can buy you more later, those are the two scenarios where you trade Diggs. Otherwise, if it's not one or two and it's going to be in box 3, that's hold.
Like, yeah, if I'm a contender, I want Diggs on my roster, but nobody's untouchable. I don't play that way.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody gave me like 2 random firsts for Diggs, now I'll send them away, and I got all off season to figure out how I want to use those first to replace Diggs. And it may not be Diggs, but I may replace 70% of Diggs. I may use one first to get a Christian Kirk and a plus. And I'm like, okay, well, we're close. Plus, I got a liquid first in case I need it in season to push him whenever. And that first doesn't get hurt or suspended.
Agreed. Yep. I think that's and I can give you, if you have another question like next week or now, happy to answer it in a specific format, but like generically speaking, that's the best way I could answer it.
Yeah, nobody's untouchable on any roster, and that's probably how you should be. Contending, rebuilding, doesn't matter.
Absolutely. What would you ask for Rashad Bateman on top of the 207 this year?
Shit, man.
Would you take the 207 for Rashad Bateman right now?
No.
I agree.
No.
I'm just asking the question to preface. Would you do that? What would you need?
Josh Downs or Rashad Bateman? Who are you taking?
Ooh, man, why are you doing this to me?
Not the pick that'd be Josh Downs, but right now, Josh Downs or Bateman? Who you got?
I hate to say Bateman.
Okay. I like Downs too. I like Bateman, but that's the range you're talking about, and that's probably going to be the 204, 203. So,
like Josh Downs, I guess it's a good question, good pivot point, because I'm a little more worried on Downs the way he like size wise was, but I guess that was Bateman too. Actually, now that I think about it, Josh Downs is the range that you need.
So,
right?
I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm out on Bateman. I'm hesitant on Bateman.
What if you had a third to this?
207 and a third.
207 and 207 and 302.
Okay. Yes.
I'm in.
I'm in there.
Yep.
I'm in there.
So what? So like early third. What about a player?
207 and Michael Gallup. Would that do it for you?
It would have before Brandin Cooks got traded today.
207 and Brandin Cooks. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Oh my God! Come on! Don't do that.
207 and Josh Palmer or Donovan Peoples-Jones.
DPJ might do it. I would do 207 and DPJ. There you go.
Okay. Well, and it's not going to depend on like what kind of league, best ball,
right? Lineup, all that. Yep, agreed. But something like that, you probably need about at least for me, like roughly a third in value. I'd hopefully get an early one.
Right.
To be honest.
I'm with you.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. T-Rock, ATM, there are currently 8 running backs that are being drafted ahead of A-Rich and startups. Are these people fools? Well, the answer for a lot of it is people tend to do things that are foolish. You know, like that's the word foolish means it comes from the word fools, right? And people do foolish things all the time in startups. So, now I think this is kind of rhetorically asking, am I the fool? And, time will tell. I appreciate the question.
Could be.
Appreciate the question, T-Rock. Appreciate the question. Okay, 14-team Superflex lineup, start 11. I have the 103 with a quarterback room of Burrow, Herbert, Watson, Lance. Wow. Looking to trade 103 for a player and a 24 first. I'm going to tell you something right here. See, this is the hardest part about the quarterback horde. I have 103 in this league. I'm so much more likely to make this either Bryce Young or CJ Stroud or Anthony Richardson than I am to trade out of this pick. But lean into it harder. And now when you have 5 of the quarterbacks, someone has to come to you. They have to. Would you do it though? Yeah. What's the player and a 24 first? Because you could. I mean, I'll also extract value now if I have to.
I'm with you. So when I look at this, if you didn't give me the list of quarterbacks, right? You didn't give me the list that you're already hoarding and you're already set, right? You got 4 of the top 15, 16 at worst with Lance. You're about to have 5.
Yep.
You know, you're about to have a third of the top 15, which is pretty awesome.
Really
15,
awesome.
16.
In 14-team league, really awesome.
If you ask me just generically without this stuff, I'd be more inclined to be reasonable. You add this on top, I'm going to be an unreasonable asshole.
I like this.
And
I like
I'm
what
going
you just
like,
did.
I'm going like, give me Chris Olave in your first. Give me Garrett Wilson in your first. Give me Devontae Smith in your first. Give me Drake London in your first. Give me, give me your 105. Give me your 108. Give me your early second. Like, you want the quarterback, come get it. If not, pry it out of my cold dead hands. So I'm going to be an asshole. DJ Moore would be a good one. I think for me, like I'd take DJ Moore in the first, I think. But that's kind of the bottom end of the wide receiver range where I'm going in. I'm talking like this is like top 15 wide receiver. Running backs, not a whole lot of them I would take in a first, but I guess if it's like Kenneth
Just to
Walker,
make sure, this is all still before you read the quarterbacks, everything you're saying, right?
Right. No, this is after I read the quarterbacks. I wasn't going to be at a reason.
I like that you prefaced, I would have been more reasonable. Like, let me just say, when Mike has the quarterback horde, which is how I answered, he is going to make you feel it bad.
I want you to hurt a little bit. So I will say this, man. Zane, I take the quarterback. 14-team Superflex too, and you're talking about
if you have 5 of them, like
Come on.
there's just no way. There's going to be so many teams that are thirsty for one.
Yeah. I mean, start 11's fairly deep for a 14-team league.
Because
still, but it's 14 teams, so those start 11s are some turd nugget flexes that we're scraping the bottom of the barrel for. So,
but think about it this way too, because this point needs to be said fine in a summary. You don't just have 5 of the quarterbacks, right? If you had Daniel Jones and you had Mac Jones and you had Trey Lance and Jared Goff, like that's harder to leverage out of for extreme value. You have Joe Burrow and Herbert and Watson and another top 15, 20 guy in this 103 pick, right? And then you have the wild card, joker card of Lance. Like that is a lot of leverage.
Like, I'm not saying you got to diamond hand it, but like what's one less than diamond? Like tungsten hands? Like tungsten hands at 103.
There you go. Well, maybe next week we'll go tungsten hands thumbnail. I love that. I think I'm going to ask, because here's the thing. Typically, liquidity is more valuable, right? Which is why we're always talking about if you can trade out of the pick before you make the player, right? You select the player, that's normally more valuable. In this case, in this league with the horde, it's actually more valuable for you to have that quarterback. So but right now, like Bryce or whoever the quarterback will be, A-Rich, CJ Stroud, the price is going up. So like I'm asking unreasonable things right now because it's already going up.
This is the weird situation where you actually rush to push the button before you get offers, just to let everyone know that shit ain't flying. That hope you had that this guy was going to fall, the hope you had the quarterback was going to make it to 5, or the quarterback was going to make it to 6, we can get that shit out the window. I'm
basically
taking the quarterback.
Start letting them know, like with your prices that you're offering, that like don't stay in my DMs with offers that are stupid. Like you're gonna pay up or just kick rocks. Like ask something that makes them really feel it so they understand what you're doing. 12-team Superflex lineup start 10, 4 point per passing touchdown. He gave the 108, got Daniel Jones. I also have 101, 102, 201, 203, and some thirds to play with in the draft. Here we go. Thoughts on Tim Patrick? Value production. Let me just say this. Lineup start 10. My thoughts on Tim Patrick are don't care. I don't care. Like value, no. Production, maybe something, but it's not lineup start 10. It's a roster clogger in his best case scenario, likely.
I thought the 108 for Daniel Jones might be a little rich, but like I get it. Adam, I want to be in the top 7, so hopefully I can get Levis if he falls, or whoever the quarterback may be that's QB4.
Yeah.
If you're just outside that, though, man, and you're not going to get one of those guys, I can see it for DJ. I mean, they started to add some pieces to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's come around. Ray's been putting him up over and over again since the end of the season. And he played really well. Yeah, I can see it. I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all. Man, I'd have a tough time, though, staring at it going like, man, I'm giving up the 108 for Daniel Jones. But the Tim Patrick thing, I don't care. There's talks of like Judy being traded, and yeah, I saw the Benjamin Albright, whatever. The beat report,
Yep.
on Twitter talking about Tim Patrick's going to be the wide receiver one, just you watch or whatever. And I
heard this about KJ Hamler too.
Listen, man, this isn't a shot at Albright. Yeah, it is. Who the fuck am I kidding? It's a shot at him too, because last year he was telling us about how great Melvin Gordon was going to be, and I was just like, stop. Stop.
He went to what people say is a great landing spot eventually, and was what?
Couldn't even get activated.
Let me say this too.
No, I don't. Tim Patrick's fine. Like in a start 10, though, I don't give a shit. Like he's probably not on my radar. He's not in the Scott Connor threshold receivers for sure.
He's a roster clogger. So the 4 point per passing touchdown actually is something that makes it a lot more meaningful for me, because if you go check out the newsletter over at Destination Devy, maybe we can put the link in the description here. But I wrote about this maybe a month ago. It's been, time flies. But Daniel Jones is one of 20 seasons, not players, seasons that's ever happened, 700 rushing yards, right? Like he has rushing upside. And I think it's not really something that most people actually give him enough credit for, right?
Because he's sneaky athletic, man.
You know, like he fell over his own feet. You know, it's just he can't beat. But he is high enough value-wise in the rushing category and 4 point per passing touchdown that it seems very rich. Like I would do this actually. I would do this in a lineup start 10.
I'm with you.
So I like what you did, actually. I do.
I'm with you.
All right, so
I'd be pissed though if Will Levis fell to 108. I'd be pissed.
I know you would, because I got him at 107, and you know what happens when you got a quarterback somebody wants is you start asking unreasonable prices. I learned that from Mike. What wide receiver range would you look at to pivot off of Brees for a wide receiver, plus a 24 first in a 12-team start 10 PPR lineup league?
Wide receiver plus a first. I would say it's going to be a lot like the T. Higgins question that we had to start the show. Kind of the same range for me.
Smith in a 24 first, Devontae Smith in a 24 first, or Brees?
I'll take Smith in the first.
I love Brees. All right. Jerry Jeudy in the 24 first.
Jeudy in the first.
Brandon Ayuk.
Ayuk in the first.
Terry McLaurin.
McLaurin in the first.
Hollywood Brown.
Brees.
There you go.
There it is. So that's me not being Hollywood.
Jahan Dotson.
Brees.
Okay. Jordan Addison. T-Rock, are you still with us?
Give me Addison in the first.
I think it's basically at that point, right? It's the risk and reward game, and I'm with you in dabbling in the risk game there and like getting the reward, but that's probably the like low end, right? Like I need at least that. Otherwise, I just go under Brees.
Anything above that, though,
yeah, go ahead, send it. Yeah. So like you and I are in agreement, right? Like DJ Moore, Devontae Adams, Pittman, all these guys will take, right?
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Yep. Agreed.
I'll take those guys in the pick.
Agreed. All right. We'll get a couple more questions, and then we do got to go do the trade show. All right. 10-team Superflex start 11 half PPR, no tight end premium lineup. Cooper Kupp 24 early first. Oh, 224 early first for T. Higgins, Chris Godwin 204. So it's Cooper Kupp and 2 early 24s. What?
Give me the picks. The early 24s. You can have T. Godwin, the 204 and the 10-team. Have fun.
This is easy. This is easy.
Number one.
Easy. Yeah. Yeah. Go get those picks and Cooper Kupp.
Right. Cooper Kupp probably outscores both of those guys.
That's what I'm saying. Because Cooper Kupp gives you the best edge in points if healthy.
And I'm gonna make the bet on.
And then Godwin in an early first or 204. Like, the problem with going from T. Higgins to Cooper Kupp is the cliffing in Dynasty age, right? That's what makes T. Higgins more valuable in Dynasty. But if you can offset that with giant wins at 204 and Chris Godwin, come on, man. That's, Hunter, go take those picks.
Nice.
Would you give a 24 first for Danny Dimes? How much over the first would you need?
Ooh.
If this is your pick, and like, see, that's the one thing. If it's your pick and it takes away your flexibility, I'm not saying I won't do it, but just understand the risks.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I think I would. I want to keep my pick for flexibility, Adam, but also if this is like the one thing that's keeping me from
the quarterback,
a solid QB2 or a really nice QB3, especially in a best ball league.
The quarterbacks are the range that you would get rid of liquidity for.
Obviously, if my team is dog shit, though, like no way. I'm diamond handing my 24 first. I'm not tungsten hands, diamond hands. I'm going full level.
All right. Apparently, it's a good thing we went on Sunday, because ask Mike if he is into quarterback hoarding during an auction startup. I may or may not be in an auction draft with him currently. I like what I'm hearing, Hunter.
Yes. I full in. Anybody who knows me knows, like, I don't know if I invented it.
He can't.
I definitely championed it.
Speaking of, diamond and tungsten hands, like, he can't help himself. He has to hold the quarterback hoard in an auction.
It's an addiction.
He to give everyone context that isn't a part of the startup, it's Justin Fields, Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, Russell Wilson is the current quarterback hoard he's holding. So
let's go.
All right. Let's find one last question. All right, we'll let Zane get us out of here. Different 14-team lineup start 8. Wow. So you're telling me it's a 14-team league starting 8 and so 6 skill players. Wow. I have the 105 at this time.
Oh, this QB3, no question about it.
1,000%.
No,
not close.
14-team Superflex start 8. So those are the big things. You started touching on it there, man. 14-team scarcity goes up in Superflex. Start 8. The premium on quarterback position becomes even more. There's no way in hell I would take a JSN or a Gibbs. No matter what happened, Gibbs could go 101 for all I shit. I'm still taking the quarterback.
Yep, fully agree. I think a 14-team in lineup start 8 though.
Horrible.
Like,
this would be number 5.
Talk
about QB hoarding,
right? And think about in lineup start 8, the skill players that have to get, like, how good the skill players have to actually be to get into quarterback mix. Like, this is easily. I'm taking.
Yeah, Zane.
I'm actually taking any of the quarterbacks. Like, let me ask you this: what if at 103 Bijan's there?
Holy shit.
Yep. Let's do it. Let's do it with the haters in the building. Let's do it. The quarterback hoard guy.
Bijan.
Wow. Okay.
Bijan.
All right. So he is tungsten hands. He's not diamond hands because he won't do it to that level. I like it.
Bijan. I'm sorry, I caved.
I like that smirk. You see that smirk? That's that McNutted smirk because he knows I put him on spot and he doesn't like it. He doesn't like it. All right, man. I appreciate everyone tapping in. Cody says, loved it, guys. Everybody, thank you for tapping in. They're going to be Sunday AMAs, even though despite, we're going to go back to Tuesday at some point. Fizzle says it. But for now, temporarily, we're going to Sunday nights. And we had a lot of people in here, a lot of really good questions. We appreciate them. Next week, we'll see if we can get to a few more questions. But we right now are tight for time to get all the content to you. So we do have to get the trade show going. Mike, any final thoughts, buddy?
No, that's all I got. I mean, next Sunday we'll be back for the AMA, and then I'll be on vacation, so I'm going to miss the next 2 Sundays because I will be flying back and forth and on a boat in the Caribbean. I'm on a boat.
I'm on a
Remember that
boat.
song?
Yeah. I was, see, that's why we do it. I was thinking about it right as you said
It was great to be back on, man. I missed it so much. I missed you guys. I miss answering these questions. Miss hanging out with you, Adam. The patrons, the AMA, it is definitely my favorite thing to do. Doing it live, so to be able to shift it to Sunday, at least for a couple times, to get that itch. I'm tired of watching it at work, man. I need to be here. So that's all I got. Tune into the trade show on Saturday. On Friday, Destination Devy. It'll be an auction episode, so if you need some auction strategy, it's a good one to check out. Be out on Friday, but that's all I got, man.
Absolutely. We are out of this thing. We'll see you back here, same time, same place, Sunday night for the AMA. Peace.